For the links up top, we'll create a nav element. We'll set the background color and estimate a height of about 30 pixels. A margin on the bottom will space it out from the columns, which we'll add in a minute. Next, because links are essentially a list of items, we'll put this in an unordered list. When previewing this, we see it obviously has a ways to go before it starts to look like a menu, so let's set up the selectors in the CSS. First, we're going to apply the styles to the unordered list itself, as well as the individual list items within the list. And finally, one more level, the links within the list items. Now the styles. Let's get rid of the bullet points by setting the list style to be none. We want the list items to sit next to each other. We can do this by either floating them or forcing them to be inline elements instead of block elements. This is our first example of why one would want to override an element's default display style, so let's go that route to see it in action. Now that these list items are inline, to get them centered, we just have to set the text align property on the parent nav. Let's space the list items out with some left and right margins. It looks like there's a default margin forcing this menu down a little bit. I can tell because the header above doesn't look centered. I'll fix this by turning off any default margins on the UL. And it looks like we need some top padding on the list. Finally, we'll wrap it up by coloring the links white.